So, brake for the locomotive, that's the brake for all your rolling stock. This is your dynamic brake that you engage for going up and down to maintain speed. This is my reversing gear, so forward and backward. This is the key to the locomotive. This is my gas pedal or my throttle. This here is my alerter switch. This is the horn, which we don't use because it's super loud. The alerter switch is a safety mechanism that they installed in the trains, so anytime I'm doing any kind of controls with the locomotive, I'm moving the locomotive, this little black box up here, the red light will come on. If the red light comes on, I need to hit the alerter switch to let the train know that I'm here operating the locomotive. If I don't hit the alerter switch, this red light will continue to blink and it will alarm. If I don't react to the alerter switch while the alarm's going off over a certain period of time, the train will automatically shut itself off. When the train shuts itself off, I have to go through a full shutdown and a full restart. So I'm probably an hour away from restarting the locomotive and getting back on the track. So that's the safety mechanism, mainly because all train blocks are segregated into blocks. So as you're driving down the track, you'll see red light, yellow light, green light. So if that next block is green, I can continue at speed. If it's caution, yellow, I can proceed at a maximum speed into that block. If it's red, I cannot enter. Okay? So if you're not paying attention and you're doing whatever and the system doesn't know that you're not paying attention and the block is red, without the alerter switch, you're going to go right into that block and either potentially head on into another train or into the back of another train. So once you have the train ready to operate and you're going to be moving forward or backward, I am in the run position, so I can actually throttle this up without engaging the power to go forward, just to give you an idea of what the train would feel like if we were moving. So I'm in an idle position right now, which is telling me here through this little window, it says idle. So if I go to idle speed or throttle speed 1, you don't notice a change. Okay, if I go to throttle speed 2, you're going to notice a pickup in RPM. So I'm engaging power to the locomotive. So in this neutral run position, I can go as high as a throttle level 3, just to give you an idea of what it would feel like if we were actually moving. So even in idle 3, I'm maxing my RPMs at probably about 250 to 300 RPM, which is really nothing, right? Your car at idle is probably 1200. At full speed, at say throttle speed 7 or 8, I'm only running like 900 RPMs. Okay, my cylinders are also 10 inches around, and I have 14 inches forward and backward thrust, and I've got 16 cylinders. That's why the RPMs technically are so low. Plus, I have turbo, so that helps also. And that's the general concept of what you would do here to engage the train using the brakes, dynamic brake, specifically for up and down hills. It's kind of like if you're going up a hill to Big Bear in your car, and it's an incline of, say, 8% grade, you don't necessarily want to be in drive because the transmission is going to go up and down, and right, so you're going to go into maybe 2 or 3, and then you'll maintain that RPM up the hill, so your brakes will stay in place. That's what you use the dynamic brakes on this locomotive when you're going, predominantly used when you're going downhill, so it keeps everything at consistency. Also that when you're at tension with the couplings, you want everything to stay at tension. So using the dynamic brake allows you to keep everything at tension. So you're not getting a lot of play in the couplings. You don't want things running into each other. It's a diesel locomotive. Actually, it's diesel. The motors are electric. It's a 3105. It's a SD42, which is very common amongst most all diesel locomotives on the road today. Very very replicable of what you would see on the open road. It's about 450,000 pounds, 3,300 horsepower. Pretty simple.